everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're okay, hope you're all safe. So here is my how to achieve a flawless complexion tutorial. I prefer to use serums as primers personally. I feel like they're not as heavy, not too greasy, and it just blends in nice. Another one what I use on my clients, can't say it because it's a French brand. I'm going to start with the Phoera. This is one of my favourite foundations and this colour is buff beige. I've got a little bit of tan on, so I always prefer to like dab it on with my finger and then buff it in, because I don't like my brush or my beauty blender to just get too clogged up. That's one of my pet hates, if my foundation brush has got too much product in it. So personally I really like this foundation because it's not too heavy, but it does get a full coverage. It's also buildable, so if you want to go fuller you can put more on. If you just want a thin layer, that's really nice as well. And it's semi-matte and it goes well on all skin tones, so I do find myself picking this one up a lot, even though I do have quite a few different ones. And I've still got quite a lot on my hand and I've only put the tiniest bit on, so it does go really far. So I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to make sure that's all pushed into the skin. It's nice to use a damp beauty blender as well because it stops the makeup from looking dry. Okay, I use the Tart Shape and Tape Concealer. Just going to put that under the eyes. Always bring it down in that sort of shape. With your concealer, if you ever do that semicircle look, when you take a photo, it will show up as a semicircle and then end up making, your bags look bigger, which is not what you want at all. So always go in that sort of triangular shape, and that way you'll avoid getting enhanced bags, because we want diminished bags. So I'm just going to take another beauty blender and just start pushing all that in. The main thing with concealer is loads and loads of dabs, rather than, whatever you do, don't rub. Never rub your brushes or drag your brushes or drag your beauty blenders. I'm going to use a tiny bit of this because it's a warmer foundation, and I'm just gonna sort of buff it around the edges of my face because I want to look tanned and glowy. I'm going to take this palette. I'm just going to take this because it's easy for me to use. I'm running out of that, but I do use that a lot. I use it on clients as well. I use a bit of both, or putting it on the back of your hand and dabbing your brush in it. And you just want to go just under there just to create that. And then I'm going to do that under here. I definitely think there's a knack to doing it because you want to do it so it doesn't look like you've got a load on. I think one thing to remember when doing your contour, especially around the edges of your face and under your cheekbones, is to remember that when you take a photo, you are going to see them shadows. I think what some people try and do is make it look like it looks on photos in real life, but then in real life it looks too much. So yeah, just sticking to around the edges of my face. And then I'm just going to take my beauty blender. Make sure it's all seamless. If you ever want your makeup to look anything, seamless is what you need to go for. So now I'm going to use a little bit of, but it's a Zoeva contour palette. And I'm just going to use both of the darker colours. I'm going to hold my brush towards the end of the brush. And I've got control, but I'm also not going in too much. And just buff under there. That's the best way. I'm just dusting these just over my eyelids and just it'll slightly blend in with that nose contour as well. Put some powder underneath. If you're going out in the day, I'd just use a little bit powder under the eyes. If you're going out at night, I'll put a lot of MAC Deep Dark, and I'm going to use a big fluffy brush, and I do smile when I do this, but I suppose you don't need to. And I'm just kind of keeping it round the edges of the face, and it's kind of just setting where I've used, you know, like my liquids and my contour, my cream products, and I'm just dusting that over, going under the chin. Kind of just brings everything together as well. And just around the edges of the face, but always avoiding, you know, where you've got concealer. So yeah, and then I'm just going to take a damp beauty blender and then my favourite thing to do, the holy grail, you need blusher. Even if you've got no makeup on, you can wear blusher. This one from Kiko, it's just called 01 and it's like a peachy colour. I'm just gonna get my apples out, as my mum used to say. I'm using this little fluffy brush from Morphe. Then I like to dust a little bit of like points here, especially you see there where my freckles go, kind of makes it look like I've caught the sun. But yeah, so blusher, favourite thing. And then I love to use this one. I've got a few different things like this. I've used this to death, but it's one of the Fentybeauty, and it's one of the Kilawat blushers, and it's Girl Next Door and Chic Phreak. I just give my brush a bit of a rub and it excess powder on, and then I just sort of go hell for leather in there because I'm running out, and then I just blend that over my blusher and it just softens it. I feel like as well, if you are like sort of a fair, same colouring to me, these colours are really nice as eyeshadows as well. Sometimes I'll just use that as a quick little look if I'm not wanting to go too much. So yeah, so now with the Huda Beauty highlighter, one of my faves, which is called Azores. See where that goes, and circles. And one thing to remember is with highlighters and shimmery eyeshadows, to get the pigment out of them and to stop them looking powdery, you really have to get the brush and stroke it. So really stroke them circles around, because otherwise you'll put loads on and it'll just look powdery. And then dust that. I really like to swipe down those edges. we're going to use the pink one in the same palette. It's my favourite palette, and I actually won it at a masterclass. I do really need to buy it again because it's running out, so hopefully this is still out there. But it's the Madison makeup, and it is the Paul Mooney. The Paul Mooney design. He designed it, he's a makeup artist. He must have teamed up with them to get this. But I've used this to death. It's such a versatile palette because you can use it like eyes, cheeks, whatever. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go with just this light one here. And I'm just going to go a little bit higher and just put that over the top. I love using like a few different highlighters together because I think it really like makes your skin look really glowy. And I always just like my skin to look really fresh. What I'm going to do is as well, see how I've got it going down? Personally, I don't like the Pinocchio shiny nose look. So I'm going to blot that here with my beauty blender and my brush. So I'm going to keep the end matte and then just that bit shiny. Personally, I just prefer how it looks and think it makes my nose look smaller if I do it like that. And then like if you go to the side, it just looks snatched. So yeah. And then I'm gonna get just this fluffy brush. It's gonna take any sort of light highlighter and just swipe that down under the brows. So I'm gonna drag it. And then what's a nice one to do is the sort of soft pink one in here, which is very similar to the Fentybeauty one. I either use that or this one when I go over my blusher, but I'm gonna just take it in there, but just do it ever so soft, because it'll just really make my skin look like I'm constantly sat in the sun, which is a nice thing to look, especially like, I mean, we might not get much of summer, we might get the weather, we might not get to go anywhere, but it's nice to have that look constantly. And then now, because I've used all my different powders and stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ever so slightly just pop a tiny bit more blusher on. And then spray. I'm not going to use too much because I'm not actually going anywhere, but I think it's... So I'm going to do my lips and lashes off camera, and then I'm going to talk about this look. About anything in this video, please just drop a comment below. If you'd like to see more videos, please like and subscribe to my channel, it'd be much appreciated. And any content that you would like to see, make any suggestions, I'm fully open to suggestions. I hope you're all staying home, staying safe and staying sane. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please give me a like on the video and lots of love.